Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor, and we are here with another video. Today, this is the first ever day of Map 8 Alliance Quest, and we are taking in the team of Angela, Corvus, and Hyperion. Now, normally I would have Angela, Hyperion, Quake for these paths, but I needed Quake in Alliance War, so Corvus stepped in, which was absolutely no problem. I couldn't join Alliance Quest early because we were waiting for our Alliance War assignments. So I joined right now, which was immediately after the assignments came out. And there are the nodes. I'm just going to go over the nodes on our first path. So the nodes that we have, the global only affects science champions, so don't have to worry about that. So Bob and Weave, or sorry, no. I'm trying to slow it down, but I moved too fast. Vital Strikes. No, I'm trying to pause and scroll. Vital Strikes. When the defender strikes the attacker's block, the defender regenerates 250% damage dealt. Now, you can obviously get around this by using Warlock and even Infection up. Anytime they hit your block, they will get their power drained. And then there's Bob and Weave. All of the defender's attacks are guaranteed critical hits. This is disabled for 8 seconds if the attacker dodges or intercepts the defender. So basically, anytime you want to parry, anytime you want to block a special attack, like one that you cannot evade, you just dex first. And then you can do it normally and it won't crit against your block. And there's also Lionheart to prevent regeneration. So that just means don't use stuff like poison. Pretty much that's all it means. Because Warlock's heal block does not, or the way he counters heal does not actually impact that. And on this first node for War Machine, we actually have the power, we have the thing where if we block or we intercept, we actually gain the kinetic charges, and then I think it's when we hit 5, or maybe if we hit 4, then we gain a passive which gives us perfect block. So right there I was just trying to get my perfect block up, and then I'll push him to a special 1 right here. So here I'm going to probably hit into his block. No. Oh yeah, right there we dex to reset the critical hit timer, and then here I'm going to throw my special 2. I knew it wouldn't kill, but I was just using it to push to the next bar of power. There really landed clean intercept, and from here I actually do not have any glaives left because of course I do not have suicides on yet. I do turn them on for later, for section 3 though. Although I might have them for section 2, I don't even remember. And then right here, luckily I hit that intercept. He would have thrown that special 2 against my block and it would have been crits, or special 1. Here he throws a special 2, I just block it. And we're just going to kill him with a special 2 right here. Pretty nice. We pick up the 1 charge for Corvus, and we're actually going to end up using Corvus for buffed up fights later on. If you guys don't know the way Corvus works, he has 1 buff plus 1 buff for each charge. So at this point, if I were to use him, he would have 2. So I need to get a 3rd charge. A second charge to get a 3rd buff to use him for buffed up. And then this is a Punisher on pretty much the exact same nodes. And this fight, I think this is the fight that goes poorly. There's one fight where I lose like almost all of my health. Yeah, it must be this one. Because we started off eating a combo. And here we're just dexing before we're parrying, obviously, so it's not a guaranteed crit. And he still will regenerate, but he won't regenerate as much. Here I was trying to get him to use the special 1 while I had the perfect block up, but I ended up just pushing him to a special 2 just because he was being a bitch and he wouldn't throw it. So he is going to regenerate a lot there, unfortunately. But here we're just going to push him to a special 2, try to get him to throw it while I have my perfect block. And look at that. Doesn't want to throw it while I have my perfect block. He's going to wait until immediately after, which is awesome. I love when you do that. And then here we're going to lose our glaives yet again. But I believe in this fight we actually wait for them to come back, if I remember correctly. We're going to get our kinetic shield here. But I'm not even going to try to block his special attacks. I believe we're going to do that again and try to get it. But yeah, both this and the first fight would have gone down in my glaives if I was running suicides. But I just wasn't too worried about these fights on day one. So I knew that wasn't going to happen. And then there, I'm just trying to push him to a special 1, bait it out. Or actually, rather, maybe I'm trying to push him to a special 2. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. So we remove the guaranteed crits. That's 2, that's 3. And then now we have the perfect block. Perfect block that whole special 1. And then here we're going to throw the special 2 because we just got our glaives back. Probably going to intercept with it. Nice. So now he's down to 1 health. We just have to wait for it to expire. So I could just bait out that L1, but I think he's actually just going to let me hit into his block as soon as this goes down. So not a beautiful fight. And obviously I would prefer to quake both of those fights plus this cable. I'd prefer to quake all 3 fights, but it's completely fine. And now we are going to go for this cable to get our second charge with Corvus Glaive. And this is probably the easiest of the 3 fights. You just have to push to a special 2, and the power gain actually helps with that. So there, we're just trying to get our perfect block. There, I was trying to get an intercept, did not go for it. I'm going to go for another one. Nope. And there we go. We got an opening. He's going to hit through a special 1. Perfect block at all, so no regeneration. We'll go for another intercept. He doesn't go for it. Here we hit an intercept, which is nice. We're going to activate the kinetic shield, try to bait out a special 1. He's going to be a little bitch, and he's not going to throw it, so I'm going to push him to a special 2. Bait that out, and then we're going to be at 3 charges, so we just need to dex once more or intercept to get the protection or the shield back. And then here, I'm going to push him to a special 2, and I realized I can pretty much just throw my special 2 like right now, and it's going to power drain him, but I think I'm going to bait out special 2 first. Yeah. And then the kinetic shield will last long enough so that I don't take damage on this parry. But I have 4 charges left, so I just have to watch my charges pretty much. Throw this special 2 right here. And he's going to drop. I guess not, because I whiffed the first 2 hits. But there we go. He drops. And we have 2 charges with Corvus. On suicides, or sorry, on day 5 even with suicides, you could absolutely do these fights and end with full health. But I just wasn't playing great. And then here we have another fight with Corvus. This is Professor X. So the difference between this fight and the previous fight is this fight doesn't have a special attack that you cannot dex. So it's going to be much easier. Basically, all we have to do is dex to remove the crit. And then we have to get openings. But for most of this fight, I'm just going to hit into his block. Then I'm going to kind of give up, and I'm going to start hitting him. I believe right here I'm going to land a parry. Yep, okay, just to remove the Vulture, I did a light attack. And then now he has a guaranteed crit, so I'm going to try to bait out a special 1. There we go, we get a dex, so we get our kinetic shield. We're just going to dex that and then go in for a combo. And we're doing really good damage because we have 2 charges, right? And then here I went for an intercept, and he stand-up intercepted me, which is really unfortunate. Not stand-up intercept, he just regularly intercepted me. And then here we punish a special 1 to get rid of the Vulture. We dex to get rid of the guaranteed crit. And then we're going to bait out the special 1 for an opening. We still have 13 seconds left on that Vulture. So I was not even remotely worried about that. Here, I probably just could have done a combo into a special 1. Oh, I am going to do that. Never mind. I just did a combo and he died. So those are literally all of the fights I need Corvus for. And I'm actually going to end up using him later on for 1 or 2 fights. Just because like he can do it. But that's all he has to do. And now we are here with the split fights. So this is Flux Dispersal, right back at it. And then Pull. And I'm going to use Hyperion for all 3 fights. We have Claire, and then we have Falcon, and then we have Yellow Jacket. And the strategy is pretty simple. So with Hyperion, you actually get full pull damage on your special 3. So your special 3 is going to do regular damage, as long as it's not chained with a heavy attack. So a few times in here, I am actually going to make the mistake and I'm going to chain it with a heavy attack, but most of the time I actually do it correctly. There I eat a special 1 to the face, so I got to throw my special 3. But as long as there's no flux dispersal charges, your special 3 does normal damage because it's not classified as a contact hit. But if you throw your special 3 in the middle of your heavy attack, it is going to get resisted 75%. It's only going to do 25% of the damage it's supposed to. So don't do that, and then just treat this like a normal Hyperion fight, except you probably don't want to use special 1 or special 2. You probably want to use special 3. So right here, I'm going to throw my special 3. Of course, I want to bait special 2s out of Clairvoyant, and the reason I want to do that is because I want to heal, basically. That's pretty much it. And then here I am just trying to get a parry in, and then I'm going to go for a light attack and a heavy, pushes to a special 2, plus removes flux dispersal, and while that special 2 does actually nullify my furies, it heals me, so I don't really mind. And we're actually doing pretty good damage. So here I elected not to throw the heavy attack because I knew it would not push her to a special 2, but now I can. It will push her to a special 2. We're going to bait that out. I don't really care that my furies get removed because I get to heal. And based on the timer, I'm in absolutely 0 risk of timing out in this fight. So there, we're going to get the debuff. I'm going to do 1 combo, and then I believe I'm just going to throw a heavy attack, get to a special 3. No, actually, I'm going to have to... Yeah, there we go. Bait it out a special 2, and then probably counter once? No, actually just throw my special 3. Okay, so that was a pretty clean fight. The fight's obviously over, because Clairvoyant cannot survive that unless she had thrown a special 3 recently. So, pretty nice Hyperion fight. And I was electing... I was considering taking that Luke Cage, but I'm gonna leave it for the guy that took the Nimrod mini. So yeah, we're gonna go up to this Falcon, which is obviously a lot more annoying of a fight than the last one because he has a special one that you can't evade. You have to block it, so it's extra block damage. But other than that, it's a really nice fight. In this fight, I believe I actually make the mistake twice of throwing my special 3 in the middle of my heavy attack. And I knew the strategy, so I genuinely don't know what I was thinking. I have absolutely no clue. But right there, you see I throw my special 3 during my medium, so it gets resisted. I don't know why. I could have just sat back, thrown my special 3, and it would have done 4 times as much damage. But actually it would have done over 4 times as much damage because that one hit triggered the 5% resistance on flux dispersal. And then right there, thought he was dashing in at me, so I throw my special 2. He was not, but that's all right. And then here I throw 2 hits into a heavy. I don't know what I was thinking, but I got lucky because he actually blocked, allowing the back end of my heavy to connect. And yeah, we're still going against this guy, so we're going to throw a heavy attack, and here I believe I make the mistake again. Yep, I genuinely don't know what I was thinking. All I had to do was wait for the last hit of the heavy to connect, back off, throw the special 3, it does full damage. But like I said, my head was inside my ass in this moment, and I just could not think for myself, so I just decided to, I don't know, just do the dumbest thing possible and make this fight much longer than it needed to be. So we just need to get to 1 more special 3 and he's gonna die. So here we're just hitting a few reparries, and there I was considering activating my regeneration, and I actually am going to, but he's actually gonna drop before I get back to full health, I believe. Actually, maybe I'm lying and that's another fight I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm probably lying. So here I'm gonna throw my special... Yeah, look at that idiot. Throwing another special 3 during the heavy attack. Although, this one, I threw it in between the first hit and then the second bunch of hits, so it actually gets full damage. That was a fluke. That was still me being a complete moron and doing the wrong thing, just getting lucky. So that fight's over. And we're going to move on to our next fight, our last fight in Section 1, which is going to be this Yellow Jacket with the exact same nodes. And of course, there is a little bit to worry about with Yellow Jacket. I actually took it in a different clip, so here you go. This was, as you can see in the timer, literally 10 seconds after I got my energy. So I just happened to check Alliance Quest, my energy, about a minute and a half prior, so I decided... Excuse me, I can't speak English. I just decided to sit on the screen for a minute and wait. So, there we go. We're going to go into this fight. And this fight I actually play, I believe, perfectly. This one's a really nice fight. Hyperion is just excellent for this Flux Dispersal node. He's so good for it, especially with the pull. He does full damage versus pull. Actually, that first special 3, I do some dumb shit, and it gets resisted because I'm an idiot. But I think all my future special 3s are good. And here I'm just trying to block to push into a special 2 because I don't want to bait out a special 1. Of course you can. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't want to. Here we're going to evade that. And then here we're going to just back off, throw my heavy attack. And I believe this one. Yes, look at this. Look at this. I'm doing it correctly. That's what you're supposed to do. Wait for your heavy attack. Wait for your heavy attack to end. Dash back and throw a special 3. That's what you're supposed to do. But so there we go. That's doing it correctly. And for the future days, I think I'll pay a little more attention. Honestly, I was kind of surprised at how easy overall Map 8 has been. And not just for my own paths. I'm talking about the feedback that I've heard from everyone. Like, everyone consistently is saying it is so easy. And we just did not expect it to be this easy. So obviously we assume that there's going to be modifiers coming soon, which is going to make it significantly less easy, especially if it's the old modifiers, because those ones would be cancer on this map. So let's get into our Section 2 fights, and we are on the buffed up path. So I'm taking... I don't know what I'm doing here. Checking Alliance War? Maybe I just move up to my fights? What am I doing? I don't know. Why is this in this clip? It's an Alliance Quest fight. I move up to Sasquatch, back off, and then... Why did I record that? Okay. Anyways. Let's get into our fights. So if you guys don't know, I'll try to pause it to see if I show the node description. Yeah, here we go. So... This node actually is double buffed up, which means that this defender takes 100% less damage while the attacker has less than 3 buffs applied to them. Also, the defender takes 100% less damage while they have less than 3 buffs applied to them. So, not only do you have to have 3 buffs to do damage, the defender also has to have 3 buffs, or you do literally no damage. You do no damage unless both champs have 3 buffs. So... I brought in Angela, and then Corvus and Hyperion are both backup. There's also no hit mercy, so if you need a 3rd buff, like the defender only has 2, you can manufacture a 3rd one by knocking them down. So that's actually helpful. But Angela does not start with 3 buffs. You need to wait until you take 10% of your damage. 10% of your health in damage from any source, which includes suicides. And that will get you the regen, which is your 3rd buff. And then you can also gain several more buffs down the road. So I was not worried about this fight. This is a pretty simple one. There we're throwing the heavy attack to double our fury, which then turned into a precision. So we're going to get a 2nd precision here. And at this point we have 5 buffs, 6 buffs. So it's pretty nice. I think I threw a special 2 here. No, we're actually going to go for a special 3 with aptitude. But we're going to bait a special 1 first, just so we don't have to bait out a special 2 from him. Although, this has a genuine chance to kill. But I don't think it's going to. Yeah, we have aptitude, but we didn't have furies. If I had like 1 or 2 furies, this probably would have killed. But it still gets pretty close. Still takes out almost all of the remaining health. And then here I realize with my 4 armor breaks plus my aptitudes, I'm just going to kill. So there we go. We kill him there. And the next 2 fights, Colossus. By far the easiest fight on this path. Because you can bait out special 1 or special 2. Does not matter. And I'm going to use Corvus for this fight, just because Corvus actually starts with the 3 buffs, and I wanted to heal Corvus in case I wanted to use him for section 3. And because Colossus, while not being fully armor break immune, is mostly armor break immune, which means I'm not going to remove his buffs or his armor ups with my parries. He's armor break immune against everyone but tech champs. So like Warlock, all the normal tech champs, they can still armor break him. But against other types, or against other classes, he is armor break immune. So, there we go. Now we're going to go for this Super Scroll, which is going to be the most cancerous fight that you will see. And my Angela is almost going to completely die. I think I'm going to walk out of this fight with like 10% health. And I only survived this fight because of Angela's SIG ability, because I'm going to eat multiple special 2s to the face in this fight. So that's going to be very fun. It's pretty straightforward getting him to 4 buffs. But then you have to get yourself, or sorry, 3 buffs. But then you have to get yourself 3 buffs. Here, we do it correctly. We block it. But I'm going to get caught by this Vulture here because I was not paying attention. Or maybe, no, maybe it's the next time I get caught by the Vulture. That time I did it correctly. So the fight starts off pretty well, and then he gets unblockable, which means that if he goes to special 2, it's just going to hit me in the face. So I'm trying to bait special 1. We hit a nice intercept there. Still trying to bait special 1. He is not going to have it, but he waits to throw his special 2 until he was unblockable, or sorry, until his unblockable ended. And then there I made the ridiculous mistake of trying to evade the special 2, which you just can't do. Just block it. And then actually, if you'll notice there, I didn't slow it down, but I actually hit a clean intercept. Like I landed an intercept, but it was while I had a Vulture on, so you didn't notice it. But yeah, the fight, yeah, it'll go down. But yeah, I ate a special 2 in my face, and I ended with 8% health. Not great. That's just not a fun fight, to be honest. I think Hyperion would probably do well in that fight, but that was not a fight for Angela. So now we're going to move on to our section 3. And our section 3, I had some recording issues, so only the end of it. Oh my god, I didn't even include it in here. Are you kidding me? I have to go find it now. Is it this? That's Alliance War. Ah, it's this. Okay. So, if you'll notice here, almost all of my fights are already dead. So, on this path, I have 4 fights, which are Groot, like regular Groot, not King Groot. I have Groot, I have Odin, I have, or sorry, Venompool is before Odin. I don't know. The first enemy is Groot, and then the next 2 are Odin and Venompool. I don't remember which is first. So, against Groot, I soloed with Corvus. I just hit into his block until he got the buffs, and then I killed him in like 3 or 4 combos. You'll notice I'm also boosted here. I took these fights immediately after I cleared War. I was waiting to clear them until I cleared War, just so I would be boosted. So I did not use boost specifically for this. You can see in the timer if you want to compare it to Alliance War, my Alliance War video, that it was actually the exact same time, like literally 3 minutes after. So against Groot, I used Corvus. He died in 4 combos. Venompool, I used Angela, and I healed her like 2% in that fight. And then against Odin, I used Corvus again, and I got through it. And then I went into Silver Surfer, and at this point, I've already died twice, once with Corvus, once with Hyperion, because I couldn't get the buffs up. With Hyperion, I survived about 2.5 minutes, because I couldn't consistently get him to 3 buffs. He would always wait before he threw his special 2. He was just being a little bitch. So I'm going to use 1 potion This is actually the only potion that I use this entire war. We're going to heal up, or sorry, this entire Alliance quest run. We're going to heal up Angela. And the one issue is that you do actually get armor breaks while you're fighting Silver Surfer. So you're going to have less buffs on yourself. But if you're over a special 1, the buffs that you get are not armor breaks. So you do not have to worry about that. And then here I'm at 2. I'm going to use a heavy attack to get him to 3 buffs. I'm actually at 3. So I'm able to do some damage for a little bit. And then later on I'm going to get back to not being able to do damage. So I throw a special 2, which actually does really nice damage here. And then he is going to throw that, which makes him unblockable. And then here, I try to phase, I try to light intercept his, or sorry, I don't know what the intercept's called. You just counter his medium attack. I dex his medium, and then I did a light attack. But when he is in his power gain passive, so if he were to throw a heavy attack, he would trigger the power gain. He actually throws a heavy attack when you try to do that. And I didn't realize that the power gain was the one coming around next. I did know this trick, but yeah, I didn't do it. So now we're going to come up to this Vulture. We're going to use Angela for it. So this has stun vulnerability, and then it also has the node where the defenders shrug off debuffs 50% of the time. That's a pretty straightforward fight. Angela hits pretty hard. Plus I'm boosted here. So you'll notice that when I don't have a regeneration on me, I'm actually losing health from suicides. That is due to the boosts, unfortunately. But that's alright. I believe this is actually my last fight in Alliance Quest. I don't think I end up taking the Red Skull. So overall, I think it was pretty simple. I definitely used an item because I sucked. I think tomorrow when I'm able to bring Quake in Corvus's spot, it'll go a lot better. Because literally everyone will be at full health going into Section 2. So that's good. And then this Red Skull, I was debating taking, but it actually has a note on it that grants the attacker the overthrow unblockable, which will help for the boss. And I know there was no shot I was taking the boss, so I ended up leaving that fight for someone else. But yeah, that's actually going to be the end of my Alliance Quest run. I'm probably going to make another video for day 5. But this was my first ever day of map 8 on these paths, and I liked it. I'm really enjoying map 8. Also, the rewards giving rank 4 materials are really cool. So, that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.